Hey sisters, so I'm a couple of days behind on my video that I was going to do for our Christ-centered Christmas. Better late than never. So I've actually never done this before, but I saw it on Pinterest and I thought it would be super cute. So it's like a little stained glass nativity craft. So I printed out my nativity, and I can put a link to the website I use. It's a free printout. Can you see that? And then I just cut it out. If you have some small embroidery scissors, it's a lot easier to get into the little cracks and crevices. I just used my big scissors and it worked fine. But then after you cut out your template, you need to trace it on some black construction paper and then cut it out again. If you have a vinyl cutter or something like that, you could find your own nativity or anything really. I think this would work for ornaments or whatever, and cut it out. So your supplies, you need your outline. You're gonna need either glue, or I'm gonna use Mod Podge. The online activity said to use glue and like a glue stick. It would be easy for little kids. I'm doing mine a little different. So I went and I got my rainbow pack of tissue paper and all my colors. I'm just gonna take and cut off a little strip because I want just pieces of all the colors. Trying to make it easier. Oh, that's gonna be so lovely. Okay, so I have all my colors. And I'm just gonna cut it here right in half. And then I'm just gonna cut this into little pieces. They're not gonna be very big. Depending on the age of, if you're gonna do this with your kids, you could make the pieces bigger so it's easier for them to handle. I'm just gonna try it like this. Okay, so I've got all my little pieces there. And the way I wanna do it, online, the directions said you could use just like clear contact paper, put that down, and then you would take your tissue paper and you would stick them on the contact paper. But when I was in elementary school, this is how we made tissue paper stained glass. Except there was no such thing as Mod Podge. It was Elmer glue, watered down a little bit. I think it was watered down a little bit. Oh, I have stringies on my Mod Podge. So I'm just gonna start by gluing a little bit and placing my pieces randomly on the glue. I'm gonna overlap some and I'm going to glue over the top of them. Now that's all gonna dry clear. So I am going to sit and work on this. The idea is I'm going to fill in an area that's at least as big as this. I'll probably do it and then just trim it up. So I'll work on that and then come back and show you what I've got. Okay, so this is what we've got done. And we just kind of kept layering our pieces of tissue and our Mod Podge and checking with my design, and I actually think this looks pretty good. So what I want to do now, I'm going to put some Mod Podge like glue around the outside of this. Seriously, this is like, the hardest part of this is the cutting, obviously. So if you're doing this with your kids, you know, like I said, you could do an ornament that's just like a star. I guess I'll do this too, even though there's a lot of Mod Podge on the, I'll just wash it off my table. Okay, I think that's plenty good. All right, now I'm just gonna position it. Like I said, this is the first time I've actually done this. So, just gonna kind of press it down on all the parts. And I'm going to make sure it's all glued. It needs to dry. So as I'm gonna let this sit and dry probably overnight so it's easy to handle. Oh, like I was saying though, you could easily do this with your kids and make something like an ornament, or you could even do a Christmas tree or a star or a bell, or just make it look like a window. And so I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll cut it out, and depending on how it turns out, maybe I'll even laminate it and hang it on my window. So I think that was just a real close-up of me. You're welcome. Anyway, so this is our little nativity craft, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will show the finished product when it's ready. So it's almost dry, and I've got it cut out, and I think it turned out really pretty. I'm gonna hold it up to my light so you can see what it will look like. But there is your stained glass nativity. And I think what I'll do is, because I like how it turned out, I'll probably run it through my laminator, and then I can hang it in my window year after year. There is another smaller nativity that you could do if you, that might be a little easier. Anyway, that's what I did. Hope you like it. Merry Christmas.